I am back with some more disco, baby. Let's do it. Now I do believe there's a trash bag nearby. This book has a rose, a pistol, and a half-naked dame on its cover. On the cover stands a very muscular man surrounded by flames. The book appears to be an erotica, but without actual erotica. This book is about pate. This book, you don't really understand it, what it's about, nor does it seem important. A book about I don't know that word. And it's gone. Border culture. A book about the future. The government reads your mind using radio technology. Ah, there we go. That's the bag that I'm looking for. Excuse me, good sir. Let me take that shopping bag. There, yeah. You hear distant squalls of seabirds. The things I've seen and said, nothing I can't do. I'm the job for every man. Well, listen, boy, I don't start trouble, I fix it. Alright. Thank you, sir. The ad reads broken window. Tibbs has windows? Let's go ahead and chuck my standard issue bag on, get the flashlight cooking. Hey, little girl. What are you
Hello,
doing?
sir. Step right in. The store is open.
Hi.
Are you interested in a new and exciting book?
Is it okay if I ask you some questions?
Okay, sir. I'll try to answer any questions you have. I hope they're about books.
What is your name?
My name is Annette, sir. My mum, her name is Plaisance. She owns the store. She's inside minding the register or organising the stock. Feel free to step in and browse our wares.
And you're standing out here in the cold because...
I'm signalling that the store is open. Otherwise, people might not know. They'd miss out on the crime, romance, and biographies of famous people.
A sudden gush of wind turns the pages of the books on the counters. She covers her face, smiling. But she's cold.
You're cold. Can I help you in some way?
Kind of you to offer, sir.
What could you do to help her anyway?
I should have a word with the store owner, maybe.
Oh, no, sir. I'm happy to help Mum by luring in customers. Besides, I have some hot juice in my vacuum bottle to keep warm.
Shouldn't you be at school or something?
I do my studies at home at the moment. I have to help Mum keep this place running.
Isn't school more important than this? Actually, what is school anyway?
School? Well, mine is a big yellow building on Boogie Street, and the people there run it. They say it's a charity.
The gale wind blows in from the coast, a wind of needles. It wraps itself around a building of brick and mortar. Somewhere, a clamor rings through the honeycomb of classrooms.
What's this feeling?
Remorse, the parquet of assembly halls, the rows of stall bars are growing cold. The corridors stand empty. A girl's voice somehow finds its way through this strange feeling. You haven't heard a word of what she's been saying these past few moments. You only hear.
Mum says it's necessary to do both because it builds character. Mum says a proper worker is dutiful. That's how you get ahead in life. You succeed.
And, how's his business doing?
Mum says it's peachy. She was a little afraid at first. There's talk about this house being cursed.
Behind her, the window has been boarded up. You sense the boards creaking, twisting for a second, and some kind of doubt in her tense shoulders.
Cursed? In what way?
Cursed in the way that makes them say that no business has ever really thrived here, sir. That they all go...
Ass up.
I wouldn't really say it like that, but I guess so.
This sounds rather serious. I should probably look into this.
We can go into the bookstore and ask about the case, but I don't see much more to look into here.
Yes. Please do also look at our wares inside. The postcards and board games are there, sir.
What do you know about the other failed businesses?
Nothing really, sir. Mum doesn't allow me to sneak around in the back rooms or the cellar. I don't really know what's there.
How does this curse manifest itself?
It does not manifest itself in any way. It does not exist. I liked it better when we were talking about whether it's appropriate to stand out in the freezing weather.
But Kim, the plasmic manifestations.
No such thing.
Anything else you wanted to talk about, sir?
Enough about the curse for now.
Maybe I can tell you about some of our books instead.
What is this crime business?
Crime fiction is about murders or burglaries or things like that, and the work of a policeman or a private detective who's trying to solve a crime and catch the criminals.
Wait, not crime fiction. I need to know what crime is. It's that bad.
Crime is what we were solving before this conversation began.
Okay, I get it. Crime, murder gets the people going.
And it's kind of like a puzzle too. You can guess who the criminal is or how the good guys are going to catch him.
I'm a policeman myself, by the way.
You don't look much like a policeman.
Huh. Well, what does a cop look like then?
Didn't mean to offend, sir. Sorry, sir. It's just that you don't look like Dick Mullen.
It's not your body that's important in the police work. It's your... Actually, I like this better. Wow, look at the guy. I'll never be as good as Mullen.
Don't say that. He's not even real. You're real.
That's right, a real failure.
Cheer up, sir. No need to compare yourself to a fictional character. Maybe you can show me some real deductive police work, sir. Like in the books.
Okay, I'm going to deduce something now.
The girl keeps her hands folded, hidden. Why is that?
Hey, why do you keep your hands folded?
What do you mean, sir?
She knows where this is going.
You can show them to me.
She looks around anxiously. Her hands remain folded in front of her. She doesn't want to show them. The lieutenant stands by, looking at the two of you with little interest. A facade of true professionalism. He is far more intrigued by the situation than his poise reveals.
It's okay.
She brings out her reddened hands, her nails frayed, nearly chewed down to the flesh.
You bite your nails.
And you knew this from me keeping my hands folded?
It's super simple for detectives such as myself.
Well, that proves nothing. Anyone could do an easy deduction like that.
She actually is impressed. This is more like a defensive reflex.
You think so? Fine. Do better. Deduce something about me.
You're quite sober.
The lieutenant does not flinch at the comment. He does not flinch even a single bit. He is intensely not flinching. It takes effort.
Wait. How do you know I'm usually not?
Because you usually aren't.
And I'm having a grand time.
I sure hope you are, sir.
There she stands, swaying on her feet, assaulted by the early spring breeze. She smiles at you. The whole situation suddenly feels familiar, somehow.
What are you missing here? Why does this feel familiar?
You have absolutely no idea. Familiar? How? You must have forgotten something you heard again.
Damn it. What is romance?
It's the type of book where there's a rich lady and she has to choose between the good man and the bad man. Or there could be a story about a poor lady getting a rich man. It's about man and lady business, sir.
What about a book where the man and lady business doesn't work out at all?
I haven't read many of those. Maybe you should ask Mum.
Yeah? You think she has one about an excruciatingly painful breakup?
I don't think it's a romance story if the main characters break up, though.
No, think about it. One where they plunge into a torrid spiral of pain, recrimination, only it's really long and drawn out. Scarred for life, phantom limb.
No, I don't know.
You can take this. Blossom like a pain flower.
Yeah, and it drags on for years and years with no resolution in sight.
The girl is at a loss for words.
Each of you filling with resentment and bitterness for having ruined each other's lives.
She shifts and sways on her feet, looking confused and uncomfortable.
Each of you tearing at others' innards, leaving a gaping emptiness, a vacuum heart that still hurts ceaselessly.
I'm sorry, sir. I don't know how to help you.
Why can't you help me? I'm beyond help, right?
Sir, sorry, sir. I'm still little. I can't.
It's time to leave it be. You're about to make a child cry. Are you proud of yourself?
Yeah. Don't worry, little girl. Got a bit carried away there. Let's back up out of this. It's enough romance for me. I have other questions.
Maybe some about other books?
Who are these famous people?
Oh, kings and queens and generals of old, or artists and writers, or musicians, those kinds of people. There's usually something extraordinary about them. I think that's why people read them, to find the secrets of their fame.
Can I become famous by reading one of those
I
books?
don't know about that, but I imagine life is great when you're famous.
Fame sounds delicious. Maybe one day someone will write a book about me.
Why would they do that, sir?
Because I'm a superstar cop. In the papers and everything. That'll show 'em.
That's so cool. Maybe they'll make you a book cover picture and everything. Standing over a dead body, holding a gun.
Okay. Bye. See you around, Annette.
Hey, so we've been monitoring you internally, and now we know your copo type.
Wait, there's capo types?
Yes. Guess what's yours?
Cool cop.
No, you're the sorry cop. The cop who's sorriest. Let's make it official then, shall we? Huge lack of enthusiasm going on in here.
Okay, but what are the other capo types?
Oh, you know. Apocalypse, Superstellar, the advanced interesting cop, liquid shadow cop. But you're too sorry to say those things. So, here we go.
Fucking they should be sorry.
Yes. Impotent rage and lamentation. Let's wrap it up.
You know, actually, I'm not sorry. I changed my mind.
No, you don't. Come on. You'll be back to saying sorry in 2 minutes.
No,
Stop
I'm
wasting
really
time and begin the repentance.
not sorry. Fuck off.
Wow. Okay. Fuck off. Maybe we were wrong about you then.
Time to go in the bookstore. F off. Done saying sorry. Maybe. I don't know. Say it too often. Gift books and molten candy. Old sports magazines tucked away in a dark corner. Books collect national recipes of Arda. They're all about lake trout. Hello.
Welcome to Crime, Romance, and Biographies of Famous People. My name is Plaisance. Be welcome, and please take responsibility for the energy you bring into this space.
A golden pendant hangs around the woman's neck in the shape of what looks like a tiny fish head trapped in amber.
Curious pendant you're wearing.
Oh yes, helps to have an anchor in these times.
So, are you the owner of the store?
I am the proudest owner of our little shop of culture.
She has fine-tuned her voice to find the most welcoming approach for attracting new customers. It doesn't work.
The girl outside mentioned that this place is cursed.
Cursed? Who said that? Annette? I will have a word with her. This place is not cursed. It has a robustly magnetic energy. Good for commercial activity. My business is thriving, sir.
Doesn't feel like it's thriving. Feels ghostly.
Your daughter is the one standing at the side of the store, right?
Annette, yes, my daughter. I hope she wasn't slacking off again with her nose in science fiction. Tell me, was she at her post doing her job like a proper girl?
Yes, of course.
Wonderful. Did you talk to her?
Yeah.
Great. On a scale of 1 then, how compelled were you to buy books after talking with her?
Her opinion of her daughter depends on how well she lured you into the store.
10. She's certainly very polite and helpful.
My precious, her dedication brings joy to my heart. If you have children, I hope they turn out as great as my Annette.
Oh, these are so good. I'm here to dismantle the free market and abolish child labor.
You must be kidding. There's nothing like that happening.
Depends how much you pay the kid.
Good sir. What does a young child do with money anyway? No, I save it for her as a fund. She's securing her financial future out there.
Slap the cuffs on her.
I formally reprimand you for your corrupt activities.
Oh, of course, officer. Good work. Are we done with the jokes now?
Yes, we've had quite enough fun here. Right.
The way you're handling her strikes me as wrong.
Mind your own business, sir. In our society, people don't get to tell each other how to raise their children. It's none of your or anyone's business.
All this pressure has really made her anxious. You know, she's been chewing her nails.
God, I've told her not to do that. It's disgusting. And I told you to mind your own business. Clearly, you have no idea how hard it is to raise a girl in this economy.
This economy is a mysterious force, like cosmic weather, mysterious and harsh.
I don't think she can do anything about it.
She can, if she has enough willpower. This is what's called growing pains. Life isn't easy. Life doesn't give breaks.
Come on, ma'am. It's obvious she can't do anything about it. You are placing an unnecessary burden on a young child.
What you're doing is wrong. Even I know that, and I usually don't know anything.
She stands stiff and severe, silently fuming. 10 or so seconds pass without change.
Oh no. Hold on. I need to invite her inside and apologize. She must be freezing out there. There. I don't know what to say to you. My husband, he tries to teach me business lessons. I have what my mother called a dull mind. All this stress.
It sounds like both the husband and the mother treat her the way she treats Annette.
You're like Annette to your husband and your mother.
Oh, well, my mother was horrible, of course. Absolutely perverse energies around that person. But my husband...
My husband is completely different, of course.
Is this husband Annette's father?
Yes, my husband is a successful entrepreneur east of the river. If only he were more involved in the business we're running up here. No matter. Soon we'll both be off for Grand Couronne.
And he's also involved with the bookstore?
He made the initial investment. Since then, he's been what you might call a silent partner.
Is she an only child?
Yes, I'm afraid so. A real treat she is. It would be nice if she had... No, we couldn't have afforded more children, really. Not in this economy.
Of course. Yep. This economy.
Exactly.
She told me she doesn't go to school anymore.
She's been too busy helping me here. So she studied at home this trimester. This is a temporary solution, of course. I assure you, I of all people understand the importance of education. She will be back in school the moment the store takes off.
Alright, I had something else in mind.
The woman looks aloof, her features much softer. Occasionally she glances at her daughter's silhouette.
Farewell for now, book peddler. Go talk to Annette, see if she's got anything new to say.
I'm sorry, sir. I can't talk right now. I'm very busy with my homework. I have so much homework now.
You just can't win.
What are you missing here? Why does this feel familiar?
Because you know each other. She's been talking to you so openly because you've talked before.
Hang on, so you know me. We've met before.
Yes, I used to stand out there all the time, before Mother told me to focus on my homework. You've been running around all week without your shirt on, sir, apologising to everyone. I don't really understand what you've done wrong.
Did I ever talk to you?
Of course, you stopped by a few times. You certainly look better than the last time I saw you.
Thanks, I'm trying.
Yeah, I can see. You don't have party eyes anymore.
Party eyes. Yes, of course. That makes sense.
I'm not surprised children have seen you running around with party eyes on, he thinks. Not at all.
Party eyes.
You know, like a cat in the dark, all big and wide-eyed. It certainly looks odd on a man.
The swiveling eyes of a loony drug addict. That is what she meant. You were probably gurning too. Fuck yeah. You should get some party eyes right now. Snap those sequins on you, boy.
Does that mean I've been partaking in narcotics?
Oh, baby, that's not what you have to worry about. Worry about the important thing.
So why did you tell me you knew me to begin with?
I didn't know I had to do that.
Thanks. I've learned something about myself today.
I'm glad I could help you, sir.
You can stop calling me sir. I am but a working man.
No, sir, I can't. It would be too tiring to refrain from it. It's already tiring enough to remember to say it all the time. It's nice of you to say I could stop, though.
I get you. I, for example, can't stop making this face.
That's a friendly enough face, most of the time.
What are you doing now?
Math. It's really difficult. Like, really. They say you need it to get rich. Better than standing outside in the cold, I guess. Oh, I found something while you were away.
What is it?
I thought this would fit you. Like, thanks for helping out. Not me. The city, I mean. Like a detective does.
A detective hat?
Yes, just like the one Dick Mullen wears all the time. You'll look way more serious with that. Right, I have to get back to my homework now. Before Mum notices. Man, this is hard.
See you around. I just got a fedora. Let's go. Didn't get that last time I played. Looking clean.
You see a set of tattered curtains blocking the way to another room. A strange cage-like trinket dangles from the curtains.
Excuse me, officer. The back room is strictly for employees only.
Shopkeeper, what's behind the curtains?
Nothing. Why aren't you browsing the books? Don't you feel compelled to look at the books? You ought to.
Oddly enough, the more she tries to draw you away from the curtains, the more alluring they become.
Pull them open.
Just as you're about to pull apart the curtains, the petrified voice of the shop owner cries out once more.
Sir, don't touch that. I told you it's off limits for the customers. Parapsychologically speaking, we're done if you decide to open them. I won't be held responsible for the consequences. It's too dangerous.
She looks away, mumbling. Why is everyone always messing with the curtains? Why can't they just buy books like normal people?
But I sense this place calling for me. I must investigate beyond the threshold.
You do? My God, even more reasons not to mess with the curtains. Just step away, dear sir.
This is about the curse. That's why you're afraid.
No, it's just a storeroom for the employees, I told you. Now please step away from the curtains.
Ma'am, this is different. I'm a police officer. I need to get in there.
Why? It's not like anyone was killed there. I am sorry, I don't mean to be so impolite. Just please don't go there. I can't allow that. You'll only make things worse and unleash the powers.
I don't care. You can't stop me. I'll open them.
No! Please just talk to me, officer. Come here and let's talk this through before you decide to do anything extreme.
Lies. Rip them open, we say. There is something mysterious about the curtains. Be careful. You see a tattered set of curtains and a polyhedron-shaped cage-like trinket.
Rip them apart, man.
You see a dimly lit room full of dusty furniture and trash. A doorway stands in the back, covered in dozens of scary little cage-like trinkets, your shadow looming over it like an omen.
I warned you, you're unleashing forces beyond your understanding.
Let's go, Kim. What kind of evil forces can we find, baby? What do we got here? Ghostly silhouettes of hair dryers. In Moira from Overwatch. A vaguely androgynous portrait of a man.
A heavy door with a missing handle stands before you, covered in dozens, if not hundreds, of little oddly shaped trinkets and charms. It appears to be locked. What if you just break it down?
Maybe I should break it down, but not before I strategize.
That's right. Take in your surroundings. You need to have a solid ground and a proper posture if you want to succeed.
All right, check my posture.
Steady breathing. Solid core. You've got this. With one shoulder forward, you're ready to smash into the door like a battering ram.
Check my surroundings.
The room is dimly lit and littered with old barbershop rubbish, but the path to the door is clear.
And what about the door?
It's made of a solid block of wood, but it has stood there for ages. The hinges are old and coated with a carmine layer of rust. It should be doable.
Knock on the door first.
Only an echo. No one is there.
All right, let's go for it. 50%, 58%. Let's go. Oh.
You smash into the wood and see a small crack appear on the door frame. It's going to take one more try to break through to the other side. But you've done it.
You're not thinking of trying again, are you?
Gotta go with number 3. Smash on the door and shout, "Freeze, dirtbags!" Freeze, dirtbags! Nobody's here. Oh, Kim, what do you got to say, my friend? What is up, Kim? I just need to I don't even remember.
What is this place?
It's an adventure.
No, it's a gym. Though it looks like no one's been here in ages. I doubt the electricity still works. Good thing we have a flashlight on us.
An eerie feeling rises in your chest.
What if there's a reason why no one's been here for ages?
Yes, because it's closed. No need to look for supernatural explanations where a banal one will do. Now let's move on, shall we?
All right. Sand is dripping from a punch bag. The poster says Sidious Fortis. The rest is worn off. Sidious Fortis? I don't know. Something. Shot put. Nice. Worn out wall bars. Cool, cool. Barbell.
A barbell lies on the floor. The color has worn off its weight plates. It's 60 kilograms. Your triceps hum at the sight of these weights. Show the world what kind of beast it's dealing with. Lift them. Why does it feel so familiar?
Oh, 8%. Yeah, right. Is this familiar because I'm a weightlifter?
No, it's not that. It's the stale smell of rubber, the squeaky sound of sneakers, your bruised knee against the mat, and a whistle. Then the feeling is gone. A memory from another life, when you were young and fit.
No way I'm trying that. I'm gonna hurt myself. What do we got? The hallway is blocked by old window panes and debris. Large demijohn full of strange liquid. Wild animals stare at you in the dark, stuffed and mounted. Airship rotors covered in spider webs. They remind you of blades. Naked mannequin torso. Strange yellow color. Ooh, $3. Let's go, dude. Blue velvet, soft to the touch, moth bitten. A little autosave. Okay. Skis with slipstream printed on the laminated top layer. Steel rotor blades bearing a slipstream logo. Ooh, $1.50, man. We're cleaning house in here.
This appears to be some kind of machine with a cube-shaped heart and a wired framework. The keyboard has a rectangular on-off button. A piece of paper still hangs from the printer.
A radio computer. Just sitting here without anyone inside.
Turn it on.
The machine lights up like some prehistoric animal stirring from its slumber, revealing fluorescent play and print keys on the keyboard. The hatch on the machine's central compartment is wide open.
Take a look inside.
It's empty like a beehive without its brood. Some cables have been left dangling, disconnected. The filament you have would fit perfectly inside the compartment.
Insert the production schedule.
Like a smooth draw, the filament slides into place. On the keyboard, the play key starts blinking.
Press play.
A bar of fabric right above the keyboard starts producing a soft hum. The sound of static seeps through the machine's planar magnetic driver. Oh no. It was already glowing and now it's also making a sound. It's probably some alien CO-like technology. The static gets louder, slowly filling up the abandoned hall, until a voice speaks out, crackling and old, cutting into the air.
Good afternoon. Fortress accident en rue de Saint-Ghislaine. This is East Insulindian Repeater Station 1. Please repeat. Is this the production schedule?
What's the production schedule?
The filament you have inserted into the reader.
Ah, right. Thanks for the explanation.
That was a question. Have you inserted it into the core?
I don't know.
If you are unsure, could you please take a look?
How do I do that?
Open the hatch on the compartment. Don't touch the wires. A current is running through it, but the core is safe. There's a filament inside. I need to know what it's called.
It's called the production schedule.
Good. Please repeat the password.
You should ask her for a hint.
Password? I'm really bad at passwords. Could you give me a hint?
No.
Is it my birthday?
Still no.
Look, this is the police. Please open this thing.
I am contractually obliged to protect the privacy of the filament holder for stress accident. Without filing a warrant with Lintel, I cannot give you access to this filament.
I'm afraid we are not doing that, unless we want to wait for a month.
Now, can you please repeat the password?
I don't know the password.
Received. I will register this login attempt.
That sounds bad. A login attempt. Something a criminal would do. Don't worry. Passwords have a way of turning up sooner or later.
Fortress accident. Is there anything else I can do for you today?
Why did you call me Fortress Accident?
Fortress Accident is the company on whose name the terminal you are currently using has been registered to.
Do you have any other information about this company?
One moment. Fortress Accident SCA produces revolutionary interactive call-in radio games. That's what the catalog says.
And what's that? This interactive call-in radio game?
Any other questions?
What are you, a machine? Or are you alive?
Yes, I am alive. I am 74 years old and my name is Yvonne.
She repeats passwords. Programming people are all paranoid.
Yvonne, my partner tells me that you're here because radio computer guys are all paranoid.
They are merely cautious. It's my job to protect their filaments as a password repeater at the East Insulindian Station.
Okay, but where are you? How did you know where I am?
in Celindian repeater station. It's my job to know where you are, Fortress Accident. As for me, well, I am sitting in my cubicle, surrounded by a wall of radios.
On an island on the river Esperance, a small woman, all skin and bones, sits in a room filled with audio equipment. Thousands of tiny lights are reflected back from her prescription lenses, like stars in the dark. Doesn't it get lonely, sitting there all by herself?
Doesn't it get lonely doing this job?
Lonely? Why would it get lonely? I get to talk to people all day.
That's why she does this.
Now, please tell me if there's anything else I can do, Fortress Accident.
That's all for now.
Thank you, and goodbye.
Tiles on the cube are still smoldering, casting the framework in a soft glow. Fluorescent play and print keys shine on the keyboard.
Press print.
Nothing happens.
Alright,
The filament slides out of its glowing nest.
let's get out of here.
Your flashlight slides over an old green chalkboard covered in scribbles, sketches, and schemes like some ancient cave mural. Some of the writing has faded with age, but you can still make out sections here and there. Photos and drawings have been pinned to the board.
Inspect the drawings.
These lithe, pointy-eared creatures appear to be different types of welkins. You make out autumnal candle welkins casting wax-based magic, translucent welkins with organs shining under their skin, and even ether welkins hailing from the vast emptiness of sidereal space. Who are all those creatures? Fantasies of a tortured, feverish mind? One of the welkins, towering among the rest, appears to be different, however.
Gotta examine this welkin. This is important.
It's Vara Hamira, a high welkin, his face white and scarred like cracked marble. This is clearly a Welkin supremacist. The note says, all non-Welkin races will be purged. The Haldor, the Tworg, the humans, and even headless men, all of them, purged. Imagine a world filled only with Welkin, Green Welkin, Dread Welkin, and the High Welkin to rule them all.
An inordinate amount of time has gone into drawing these little Welkin creatures.
Why would anyone spend so much time on this?
Some people really like building a world, I think, even if it's just for a game.
Who are these creatures? I mean, who drew them? Are they real? I have so many questions.
This looks like concept art for a project. It's not really real.
One of them is a Welkin supremacist.
Political commentary. That one has a great beard too.
Well, this has been educational. Let's move on from the Welkin.
Just look at those details. So much effort.
And for what? All gone.
Take a look at the photo.
The photo collage depicts barren, icy landscapes wrapped in perpetual night. You see permafrost and glacial landforms, dead trees grown in under the snow. Entire oceans have been frozen from shore to shore. There are pictures of settlements on dried up riverbeds, abandoned in a storm. Animal corpses in the dark, carcasses and bones. Albeit dark and cold, this vision also feels cozy in its own way, like eggnog or morphine, a much-needed respite from our own world. A pinned postcard reads, "The heat death scenario, a desperate fight for geothermal energy engulfs the world as Wirral becomes untethered from its sun, drifting through the universe."
Take a look at the schedule.
This is a monthly calendar from the year 50. Cryptic words like sprint, daily minimi, and GPI span the marker-drawn grid, the grand scheme of production and money.
What happened?
As time goes on, the numbers in the boxes grow rarer and rarer. The board becomes an empty snowfield in the final days. Only failure and regret dwell in this region.
Looks like they didn't make it.
A note in the bottom left corner of the chalkboard says, "See the prod schedule filament for details."
Inspect the notes.
The handwriting is only partly legible, but you can still make out 3 slogans. Call in, tune out, Wirral untethered, and Heat Death of the Universe. Outside, a cold wind wraps the building in its bosom. Snowflakes in the wind. An old woman passes what the locals call the doomed commercial area. She tries hard not to look at the bookstore windows. It's unwise.
Got a wall over here.
This old fireplace is covered in lines drawn in blue and red marker, the mesh spreading over the stone like blood vessels on alabaster skin. It looks ghostly and strangely ancient. A diagram for summoning some time-forgotten being. The symbols seem very esoteric.
What am I looking at?
Radio frequencies, it seems. UKV 123.6, UKV 123.7, UKV 123.9. Some written notes, too. Sparse and cryptic.
Radio frequencies for what?
Unclear. It looks like a cardiovascular system split into veins and capillaries. Very advanced.
This must be an elaborate piece of art.
You think so? The web is comprised of radio stations, all lead back to one red heart, titled The Game Master Frequency. A note says, this one can listen in on any station it wants. Looks like a surveillance program.
Wait, who's the game master?
Someone very important. The leader of a massive on-air game built by these people.
If it's a game, then who's playing?
Whoever decides to call in to a call-in station, it looks like. All of this is gone, left unrealized.
My God. It's as if the less money they had, the more ambitious their project became.
Why do you say that?
The schedule. I know doom when I see it. The company was running out of funding.
What else?
Nothing. It's just lines on marble. An echo from times long gone. No one has used the fireplace in ages.
I think there's a stomping being picked up on my mic because the people who live above me have kids, and I think there are kids stomping about
Okay.
right now.
What do you think is going on with that computer, chalkboard, and fireplace?
Looks like an undercover counterintelligence program.
No, that's not it. I think it looks like one of those popular pen and paper role-playing games. Only these people were trying to automate it, make it work on radio computers.
Utter madness, he thinks, as a compliment.
Has anyone ever done this before?
Not to my knowledge. They make automated games in Graz, Messina, Königstein. You know, places with industry. But I don't think anyone has attempted to create an inter-isolary game before. We just don't have the technology.
And this was a role-playing game?
Indeed, those Welkins are a dead giveaway. Role-playing people love that stuff. The world looks like a modified version of the WeWorld board game, with heat death thrown in.
Wow.
Indeed, it's ambitious and untethered from reality, but...
It was just a play to cheat money out of their investors' pockets.
I don't think so. I think they genuinely believe. Okay, let's keep moving.
Scribble notes. Developers of the most advanced RPG in the universe. Wow, wow, wow. What do we got here? Oh, a couple bucks? Jeez.
You see a terrifying ice bear with a strange compartment in its belly. The door is covered in frost and the bear's eyes are glowing red. This ice bear is a hyper carnivore. Be careful.
What is this thing? It looks like a giant ice bear.
The lieutenant doesn't answer. His eyes are glued to the animal. A sharp slice of light shines out from its mysterious belly door. A gust of freezing cold air rushes to greet you. You hear a low grumble as the bear regulates itself. This is the inside of a refrigerator. The lieutenant takes a peek inside. His hand has found the holster of his gun.
Relax, Kim. It's a fridge.
Of course, just a giant ice bear-shaped fridge. Let's take a look inside.
The shelves are empty. All you see are crumpled ice cream wrappers with the brand name, Revachol Ice City. A handwritten note has been attached to the door. The fridge is huge.
Take the note.
You pocket the note and the little fridge magnets keeping it on the door.
And examine one of the ice cream
A
wrappers.
friendly cartoon bear smiles back at you from a glossy cellophane wrapper. It looks nothing like the fridge.
What is a giant bear-shaped fridge doing in an abandoned cellar in the first place?
Good question. It looks like an ice cream fridge.
So they tried to sell ice cream from this hyper carnivore?
I know. What an unfortunate marketing choice. What is even worse, the bear is still costing them money to this day.
The fridge buzzes with energy. The electricity bill on this thing must be catastrophic.
Take a look at this.
A thick layer of coal dust covers the furnace, coloring it pitch black. Looks like this furnace has a face, and it's a face of agony.
Kim, what is this thing? Is it a furnace?
Looks like it. Looks like an old central furnace used to heat the building. It's connected to the chimney. No one has used it in ages. No signs of any recent fire. Only dead rats.
Take a look inside.
It's dark and grimy here. In the darkness you can hear chatter. It's coming from above. A voice or several voices talking to each other. Near the smoke chamber, upstairs.
What are you doing?
I hear the murderer of the hanged man talking.
Wait, really? We should investigate, see if someone's upstairs.
A lush layer of coal now covers your skin, sinking into the wrinkles. Your hands look ancient. You feel the spirit of Ramut Karzai, ancient hero of Grad, pulsing through you. All that's left is to cover your face in war paint.
Let's do it.
3 dangerous stripes appear onto your cheeks, telling stories of your wild soul.
What are you doing?
I'm the reincarnation of an ancient Ilmarin warrior.
Please wipe your face clean, officer.
No.
You can feel your
Shit.
cheeks turn red under the lieutenant's gaze. You look like a kid, not a police officer. Even the war paint can't conceal the embarrassment.
Alright.
So, where were we?
Let's kick this
A
furnace.
hollow ring goes
Oh.
through the furnace. Your toe hurts.
Okay. That was something, I guess. Not anymore. An ancient ice cream maker defrosted and unplugged. Flashlight casts a strange shadow. Let me get in there. 2 rusty rifles are hidden behind the piping. They look inoperable.
A few bricks have fallen off, revealing a compartment behind the wall. It's too dark to see in.
Look, there's a hole in the wall.
There is, yes. And there also appears to be something inside the hole. Interesting. Do you
Okay,
want to take a look?
I do.
Your hand reaches deep into darkness and spiderwebs. Rummaging around, you find rusty rifles hidden away.
Rifles, Kim.
Are these any good?
Most of them are rusty and inoperable, like the rest, but one catches your eye. A bolt-action model with a fine wood stock, in better cosmetic order than the others. Take it. You're a police officer. Police officers carry guns.
This one looks nice.
That's a rare sight. Seems to no longer be functional, but still a beautiful thing in its own way.
What does this mean? A rifle here.
It means there are firearms, albeit inoperable, still lying around in Martinez. It's an interesting coincidence, I would say. Might come in useful in the future.
He likes this find.
Someone has stuck some busted guns beneath the ceiling. Frozen ice cream maker that's still running. Take all that.
2 cables are plugged into the breaker box. The red one leads to the ice bear fridge, and the black one to the ice cream maker nearby. Something close to you dies with a soft electric purr.
Why did you do that?
I don't know why I unplugged it. I do things without any reason.
The lieutenant raises his brows, but doesn't say anything. The electric distribution board now has 1 cable missing.
Intercom wires running into the breaker box. Ooh, drama tank top. This leads me back outside, but I just want to make sure that I can use this door to get back in. I think it's on the right side between like the whirling and rag there. Just checking. Okay, cool. That's where it is. Kind of curious what happens if you come this way at the beginning and then come up behind the lady. I gotta try that next time I play this game. Cellar window, people's feet shuffling by on the street. Okay, should be good here. Wait a second. What about that ice cream machine? I forget what this is about. Can I do anything with it? Guess not. At least not now. Take a look upstairs again.
An iron safety curtain curves before your eyes, folded like a bellows. It covers half the room, blocking the way into a colossal industrial chimney. What an odd thing to do. Nothing happens. Still nothing. No one's home. Those curtains prove to be surprisingly sturdy. Your fist hurts now.
There must be another way to wake up whoever is in there. Maybe we should ask the lady in the bookstore what's going on here.
Bent metal, broken glass. Your path lies strewn with the broken forms of everyday objects. You are the destroyer, the bane of inanimate matter.
Yeah, I rip shit apart.
Kudos.
Only 1 skill point right now. Probably hold off on those thoughts. Take the postcard. Shoes in a puddle of melting snow. Alright, let's try something again real quick with the chimney or the furnace down in the basement.
A thick layer of coal dust covers the furnace.
Look inside.
What are you doing?
I'm not sure, Kim, but I think I can hear someone talking upstairs.
Wait, really? Maybe it's coming from behind those safety curtains we saw upstairs. We should ask the lady in the bookstore what's going on with these curtains.
Alright, I guess I just have to go talk to her. I thought perhaps I could shout into the furnace. Or something along those lines. Don't recall how I did this last time, but I thought it was like that. Maybe I don't have the skill check for it.
You broke down the back door, the wards, the door. It's all gone now. Dark psychic energy leeching onto my shop.
Sometimes it's necessary to resort to extreme measures.
I suppose it's all over now. I guess there's no escape.
What are you talking about? It's just a door.
Just a door? This place is cursed, Detective. They don't call it the doomed commercial area for nothing. Just look at the sheer amount of companies that have failed in this house. I hope you're happy now. Happy that you've ruined everything. Now that you've broken the door, the curse is coming to get me as well.
Cursed? Thought the curse wasn't real.
Of course you didn't. You're nothing but a policeman. All right. You know what? I'm willing to let you investigate the doomed commercial area. We are set on the path. There's little else to do. But before we go on, tell me, did you encounter the malignant entity?
Of course. The entity. I didn't see her, but I sensed her presence.
You did? Then it has to be true. I've suspected that this woman-shaped energy must be connected to the curse ever since I first saw her. Did you see that she lives inside the chimney?
You mean the chimney that's part of the central furnace? I heard voices coming from there.
Yes, I've heard that. It's enormous. She has barricaded herself behind some metal security curtains upstairs. God knows what she's doing there. Some unnatural magic, I assume. You should go find the entity and ask what happened to all the companies in the building. And do return to me after you've talked to it. I'm quite anxious to know what she has to say about the curse.
If you're really interested in cracking this mystery, then we should go back to the furnace. Maybe you could yell into it or something. Make some noise. You'll think of something. You always do.
Despite his cool, the lieutenant's interested in solving this mystery too.
That's all for now, book peddler. Let's go shout into the furnace. I was right. I don't recall having that dialogue with her the first time. So maybe it is like a skill check or choosing an option first to just yell into the furnace. An intellect skill check maybe, something. Seems like the sort of thing that like Shivers might be, or drama.
A thick layer of coal dust covers the furnace, coloring it pitch black.
Can't really yell, but hello?
Something breaks loose in you. A mighty bellow echoes throughout the chimney's depths.
Hello, hello, hello.
The chatter of tiny voices above suddenly cease. Then,
Hello? You hear a woman's voice answer.
you've awakened the entity.
I summon the ghost of this doomed commercial area. Answer me, spirit. Hello? Did you say anything? I can't hear you. Please come upstairs.
You hear a low rumble upstairs. The sound of a curtain being pulled aside.
After you, officer.
Let's go. Let's effing go. What do we got here? This tray is full of dice. Colorful polyhedral dice. Hundreds of them. The candy dispenser has been repurposed to contain thousands of dice.
Hello, I'm Nia. Did you try knocking on my window? I must have missed you. I've been listening to my Melius. So what kind of die are you looking for?
Could this be the malicious entity? Perhaps it's wise to go along with this masquerade for now.
Why are you asking me about dice?
I'm a novelty dice maker. Tell me the name of your role-playing system and I'll make the die you need. That's why you're here, yes?
As she speaks, her bone-like fingers fiddle with a ring. Her bones light, but her hands strong. Role-playing games? You know the one made by Fortress Accident. Does that count?
Sure, I like role-playing games and I need some dice.
Very good. My rate is 10 real per set, unless you want something really unusual. Take a look around and see if there's any particular stone you want to use.
This person means you, or no one else, absolutely no harm. She will answer freely and honestly.
What do you know about the man who was lynched behind the whirling in rags?
Nothing really. I didn't know him.
Who cares about the dead body? We might be dealing with a malignant entity here. The lieutenant looks at his notebook, then the woman under the large window.
Your window looks directly onto the courtyard. You're saying you didn't see or hear anything unusual last Sunday evening?
I'm sorry, detective, but as you know, I usually have my headphones on when I'm working. It shuts out most of the daily ruckus behind my window.
What do you mean by the daily ruckus?
Well, there's always something going on in the whirling's backyard. During daytime, there are usually those kids. And lately, I've been seeing a lot of drunk workers hanging about. Must be because of the strike.
She's not sorry to disappoint you. Informing on someone in a murder investigation would intrude upon her focused existence.
But I never saw anyone during that fateful Sunday night, I'm afraid.
And you never took your eyes off the work to look out the window?
I might have, but in this case, all I would have seen is my own reflection staring back from the darkness. It's really hard to make anything out in the yard when it's dark outside. Besides, I rarely get up to look out the window when I'm in the zone.
Do you often work Sunday nights?
It's an odd profession, making dice for people, but I like it, and I prefer doing this to sitting at home.
I see. Thank you for the answers.
She nods.
Anything else, officer?
Hey, where are we anyway? What is this place?
We're inside the chimney of an old central furnace. It's strange, I know. But when I arrived here, all the other rooms were taken, so I had to build myself a makeshift home. Besides, I don't really have to pay any rent here, so that's a plus.
Plaisance was right. There's an entity living in the chimney. You should ask her about the curse.
Creative.
I've heard this place is cursed. Did you know that people call it the doomed commercial area?
I've heard the stories, but I don't think those stories are true.
Well, how do you explain what happened to all those companies then?
It's just capitalism. We only hear about tales of success, so it's often surprising to realize how many ventures actually fail.
Plaisance is the one who sent me. She's convinced that this place is swarming with malicious energies.
Plaisance, the bookshop lady? I've heard that her business is doing rather well. Have the energies spared her somehow?
Actually, the bookstore isn't doing that well. There are hardly any customers, and she has to exploit her own daughter to keep the company going.
Oh, right. But it's not just the bookstore that's still up and running. What about the whirling in rags? Some people say it's part of the building complex.
Hold on. The whirling is part of the doomed commercial area?
You could say so. Both houses were built at the same time and under the East of the Commerce Central project.
Yeah, but it's still a separate building. The malicious energies can't reach there.
And then there is me. I've been here for 14 years, selling novelty dice to role-playing enthusiasts. Not exactly a million-real business idea, yet somehow I've survived despite the talk of malicious energies. Strange, isn't it?
It's because she's in cahoots with the demons.
Plaisance thinks it's because you're the source of it, a malignant entity.
Malignant entity? What does that even mean? Some kind of sorceress? What about you, officer? Do you think I'm the malignant entity?
The jig is up. The she-demon knows you've uncovered her true identity. Time has come to face the source. Fear not, for the forces of the universe are supporting you in this psychic quest.
I think it still might be you that's causing this.
So I'm the grand dragon in the cave. Might I ask what supports this claim?
There's something ghostly about you. Ethereal, even.
Ethereal? Thank you, but I think it's just the lighting.
No, it's the troubled color of her energetic vibrations.
No, I mean it. Your energetic vibrations are off. Since tragedies in your past, darling.
Of course you do. Show me a person in Martinez who doesn't have any tragedies in their past, and then we'll talk. If you ever find a way to explain all those inconsistencies in the curse, then let me know.
Plaisance needs to hear about this. Perhaps if you combine your psychic energies, you will make sense of the situation.
Why hasn't her business failed?
You feel nothing.
Damn
If
it.
anything, it's uncomfortably warm in here.
Start taking off your clothes. You need to connect, obviously.
Excuse me, what are you doing?
Officer!
Trying to lower my body temperature.
And why would you do that?
It's part of a special technique that I have.
And what technique is that?
Okay, hear me out. Sometimes I get these feelings.
Miss, I apologize for my colleague's behavior. He's still recovering from an unusual medical episode.
Officer, this isn't how mature adults deal with their feelings.
Now you feel something. The cold damp of shame washing over you.
No, it's not like that. Like, I can feel the wind or, I don't know, the air pressure, and then the air tells me things.
The air pressure told you to take your pants off in my studio?
Yeah, exactly.
Can you please employ this special technique somewhere else? I work here and my work requires concentration. Half-naked people don't help with that.
Okay. Heal up the morale real quick after that one. I'll go talk to Plaisance. See what she has to say about that. She might not be believing it. I don't know if I'm believing it. Beautiful. Merely looking at the unmanly haircut threatens your masculinity. No sane person would ever put their head into such a machine. Oh, play songs.
What have you found? And also, do buy the books. There may be teachings in them.
I talked to the entity you told me about. Her name is Nia, and she's a novelty dice maker.
A novelty dice maker? Well, spit it out. Why does she need the dice? For some kind of sorcery? Sometimes they use the ankle bones of sheep.
She may be involved, but I don't have a way to question the malignant entity further.
I don't understand. If you're not sure it's her, then where is the source of the doom? How did she explain the curse?
Just don't say you don't have any answer yet. The uncertainty is killing her. You've come this far. You know how to end it. There is an entity behind the entity.
There's another entity, more malignant, pulling the strings in Martinez. Perhaps in my travels I will cross paths with it.
A third order
Paths with it.
presence. Yes.
A great dark relief washes over her.
I've heard of these triactors. In certain occult literature, that's too dark to dwell on for too long, and definitely not in the presence of my daughter. I understand everything, sir. Thank you for your descending into the maelstrom. I will keep fort up here, strengthen the wards, do my best. And if you happen upon the third entity in your travels, may the Lord be with you.
Well, this has been absolutely educational. If we happen on the third presence in our travels, we will certainly come back to tell you.
Yes, the venture continues in other waters. darker waters.
Should we get out of here before the vortex collapses?
Yes. Farewell for now, book peddler. Again. All right. What do we got up here? To Roundabout North and to Cape Side Apartments. Martinez Pier. Take all these bad boys. Look in here.
This coin-operated viewer is facing south. The instruction manual says to insert 25 centimes and pull the handle while looking inside. Then use the focus knob to zoom in if necessary.
Sure.
Your money disappears into the coin slot. A clunk, the ring of metal.
Pull the
The
handle.
curtains on the display open. You lean in to catch the view. It's blurry, different blues and greens. In the middle of the shimmer stands a drab grey shape, like a ghost. The lenses shift. The ghost sharpens into an islet in the bay. In the ruins, a man-made structure is visible, a half-sunken sea fort, its concrete almost reconquered by nature. It looks as if it was abandoned quite some time ago. Nothing but a rotten tooth remains of the anti-aircraft tower. A lonely birch tree grows out of it, its leaves ripped from it by the winter wind.
Hang in there, little one.
The little brave birch tree seems to wave back in the wind.
There are ruins of some kind of building out there.
Really? I don't have the eyesight to make it out.
Interesting. Oh, we got some more cans here. Oh, come on. Gimme, gimme. That's hard cash right there.
This coin-operated viewer is facing southwest. Its coin slot is full of fossilized bubblegum, rendering the machine permanently inaccessible.
Vandalism.
Probably some kids.
Poor little viewer.
The metal feels cold and wet under your palm. It looks unhygienic. A thick layer of graffito covers the lenses. You spell out the word Onuk written on the other side, with N and C scribbled backwards. Under the graffito, a sea of blues and greys appear. Behind the water lies a coast studded with concrete and reeds. On it, a church on stilts, lanky weather-worn wooden planks, an X-shaped cross topping its tower. The church looks old and weather-worn. There are no lights in the windows.
All right. Well, you know what? I really want to see what the shivers are in that, in that room upstairs. So I think I'll come up here, drop a point into Shivers, because I should have 2 skill points now. And I know I'll need Shivers for more than a few checks, so it's worth it to put a point in. Come, come. But F it, I'm gonna drop the save just in case. Where are we? Shivers. Gimme, gimme.
Oh, it's you again. Are you looking for a die?
25. I thought it was like 40% before. Let's put up another point into this, the legendary check. Let's go.
Through the chip.
Doesn't matter.
The stones and minerals on the shelves rattle as though agitated. For a moment, it almost feels as though you're outside the building, exposed to the atmosphere.
This is still just a theory, but hear me out. I think I know why your business hasn't failed.
Didn't we already talk about this?
It's because you're not in the same building as the others. This isn't technically the doomed commercial area.
What are you talking about? My address is exactly the same. Rue de Saint-Guilain 10.
No, the old coal plant that used to be here was subsumed into the new venture. Its ruins swallowed up, yet it has a different address in the heart of the city.
No, this used to be a coal plant. You're in the chimney of another building.
This doesn't make any sense. Are you saying my business was spared because of a technicality? Where is this coming from?
Let's just say I have my own methods. Unusual methods.
And what? Does it mean that I'm safe from failure?
Don't let her become complacent. She still needs to ward her soul against the evil forces.
Actually, it's only your workshop that's protected. You should still do something to defend your person. What?
Do you know what this is?
Your Lucky Charm? Some kind of ward?
It's a mourning ring. I made this when my first company failed. It was a small jewelry shop right here in the East Delta Commerce Center, built with the little I inherited from my parents. I drove it into the ground within a year. I didn't have what you would call a viable business plan.
See? The curse is real. I bet you didn't run this little jewelry shop from the protective depths of the chimney.
No, you're right. I didn't. It wasn't just a jewelry shop either. I always thought that it was just the world that you were supposed to try again and again until you finally succeed. And now you're telling me what? That it was all because I didn't run my little shops and ventures from a dump inside an abandoned chimney?
Don't call it a dump. You've made it nice and cozy in here.
Yeah. Or maybe it's the entire world that's cursed. It's such a precarious place. Nothing ever works out the way you want it. That's why people like role-playing games. You can be whoever you want to be, you can try again. Still, there is something inherently violent even about dice rolls. It's like every time you cast a die, something disappears. Some alternative ending or an entirely different world. But anyway, thanks for sharing your theories, officer.
Do you know what happened to the other tenants? Everyone else is gone.
More or less. Are you interested in anyone specific?
Rats scuttle in the dark rooms under the abandoned blow dryers and dusty mannequins. Cobwebs cover rotors and radio computers alike. So much failure.
There used to be a hair salon here, right?
Yes, I think it was called Androgynous Orlando or something similar. They weren't a big hit around here. Turns out that working class men don't like genderless haircuts. They're scared of that word.
You wouldn't like it either. The others would laugh at you.
What's wrong with a bit of experimenting? Customers should have been more open-minded.
I guess it just wasn't the time yet.
What about the gym?
It wasn't merely a gym, it was Artemitep's boxing club. A community project created to steer at-risk youth away from drugs and crime.
Judging from the kids I met so far, didn't really work out, did it?
It didn't. If anything, it made the youth situation in Martinez even worse. At some point, someone started a rumor that the punching bag downstairs was full of amphetamines.
You should have known it.
Eventually, the coalition took away the funding and the club went bankrupt. This was a few years ago. It's gotten much more peaceful around the plaza ever since.
What's up with the broken windows?
Oh, this one's a mess. There used to be a company that promised to repair windows 24 hours a day. What could go wrong with this one, right? Turns out, the business was actually set up as a front for an illicit group that was producing snuff milias. Who would have guessed? And they never cleaned up the debris either. Now it's just littering the hallway and I have no idea how to get rid of it on my own.
Cool, very cool about the debris. But what's a snuff milieu?
It's a Sub Rosa radio station that broadcasts real murders with real victims. Some people pay good money to get off on it.
What does she mean to get off on it?
Don't worry, the ICP has a separate division that deals exclusively with unlicensed sub-roses. This isn't our problem.
Good luck with that. It's not easy catching those perpetrators.
Did someone make stuffed animals? I saw mounts lying around.
You mean Mr. Fabron, the taxidermist? No, he mostly just did drugs.
But what drugs exactly?
Anything else?
I found creepy mannequins.
There used to be a fashion atelier here, but I have forgotten the head designer's name. They were doing well for a couple of years, until the insect rights activists came.
Insect rights activists? What in the name of...
The atelier produced a certain collection that used chitin among the materials. Apparently chitin is made in the Occident, where it's extracted from beetle wings. And you know how all kinds of political movements are big in the Occident. The activists shut down the biggest chitin supplier, which of course caused the price to skyrocket. And, naturally, all the most fashionable tastemakers refused to be seen in chitin from then on. The atelier went bankrupt before they could finish the collection.
I'm glad someone took care of the little guys. I like insects.
Really? Anyway.
Poor guy. Suddenly, you get a feeling that insects are important to the case somehow. It's hard to say why.
What's with the rotor blades and skis?
They were made by a company called Slipstream. After they pivoted from making rotor blades to skis, their chief executive took off on a vacation with all their money. Honestly, I think it's quite funny. I think he's still sending out holiday transmissions from Tulula or Tiumotiri or Hashtkor or wherever he is.
That's illegal. Running off with the company's money like that? Why hasn't he been arrested?
Sure, it's illegal, but it's not exactly anything extraordinary in business. Besides, Slipstream is history now. All their remaining assets got seized by the bailiffs in 47. I have no idea why those skis and blades are still lying around.
Found a strange machine.
Fortress Accident, the radio game studio.
She liked them.
They were an interesting bunch. We talked about role-playing systems every now and then. Once, I even saw two of them get into fisticuffs over Wirral. They certainly took their work very seriously, even if they seemed to be chronically liberal with their schedules.
What do you mean liberal? What happened?
The usual. They ran out of money and couldn't get the project done on time.
What went wrong?
Well, I did hear them talking at times. They seemed to believe they were historical individuals on some grand quest.
Really? They must have been on a gigantic ego trip.
That's what I thought. Because when the money started to run out, they just began to complain a lot about capitalism. You know, how the markets are rigged to keep up new businesses and so on. In the end, they just didn't get it done. They didn't have enough willpower to produce something truly historic. And to show up to work on time.
She's right. Showing up to work on time is important. Showing up to work on time is hard. No, scratch that. Showing up to work at all is difficult, especially if you've been drinking.
You're right. They should have just tried harder. They had everything needed to succeed.
Still, not everyone is going to make it. That's the nature of the game.
The dice is black and filled with little silvery flakes, like snowfall.
Anything else?
There was a terrifying taxidermy bear in the cellar.
Oh boy, the fabled Revachol ICT. You're in for a treat here. The place was owned by two guys who had some rather innovative ideas about marketing. The bear was one of them. Now ask me about their other ideas.
What about the other ideas?
There was really just one, and it involved picking out the prettiest girls in the neighborhood and paying them 20 cents per hour to man the booth. And by man the booth, I mean slump behind the counter with a face that could maim you if you ever dared to disturb their bored magazine browsing.
Sounds like she really didn't like those girls.
What did they expect? 20 cents per hour is dog's pay. I'm surprised they showed up to work at all.
Oh, but they did. They did show up to work, and not alone. There were also acne-ridden girlfriends and gorilla-like boyfriends loitering near the ice cream stand. And they already had the bear.
What about the bear?
The bear.
It didn't work out?
Of course not. The bear was terrifying. No one wants ice cream guarded by a hostile apex predator. To make matters worse, the fridge didn't work too well either, and half the ice cream came out malformed and partially melted. Eventually, Ravishow Ice City lost the price war to its rival, Glacé 5000. Glacé 5000 sold caramel sundaes for only 5 cents a piece, out of regular fridges.
The bear was scary. Every time I saw that bear, I felt scared. Like it could become alive any moment now.
The taxidermist who made it said it was his vision beast. He said he met his vision beast while high on desiccants. He called it Megatherion.
Scary, but cool.
Megatherion?
Megatherion, a mega wild beast.
What's a mega wild beast?
It's an imaginary beast that guides you through life by telling you to do more drugs, mostly.
A wise and noble beast, guiding you toward the land where the streets are paved with drugs.
I don't do drugs.
Very good. You shouldn't do them. You're a police officer after all. Anyway, now you know the story of the fallen ice cream empire.
Outside it's light. Light scatters from the low-hanging cloud cover. There's always the threat of snow.
Anything else? Another failed business, perhaps? Good. I hope it clarified things a bit. What else?
That's all. Thank you, lady. Now, a quick conversation down in the bookstore. See if I got any new dialogue there. And then I'll call it for today's disco session.
Hello again, esteemed officer, and welcome to Crime, Romance, and Biographies of Famous People.
I had a few more questions
Okay,
about the
but
curse.
Please, only a few questions. You wouldn't want to disturb
Have you
the
sought help from
spirit-
anyone?
Yes. I've contacted numerous parapsychologists, and even a pair of Simonese mediators. The wards help to keep the doom at bay and protect us against the darkness that lies further in the building. Even though now I fear it's not enough. Yes,
All right,
the Simonese are very crafty, and their wards are extremely powerful. Oh, there are numerous spells cast the curse. It's the curse.
I was expecting me to like have a chance to say, oh, I talked to her, but I guess not, because I already told her, don't worry, I will look out for the curse.
It's not
So
just that
yeah.
That sounds familiar.
Truly so? Perhaps the dark energies are leeching off you. You shouldn't stay in the store too long. It may be...
The woman looks aloof.
All right. That was that then. No real new dialogue from her. So, gonna go ahead and call it there. Likes, comments, always appreciated. Till next time, bye for now.